Welcome to the show after a weekend where the New Zealand franchises excelled in Super 15, including the Highlanders notching up their first win on the back of some tenacious defence, all part of a much improved all-round performance. Elsewhere, the Chiefs were romping home before the TMO waved away two obvious forward passes to gift tries to the Rebels and keep them in the game, but the best team won in the end. Same goes for the Hurricanes, who gave the Bulls a head start with a couple of intercepts, but no complaints, they were well beaten anyway. Yet another draw to throw the pundits off. This time the Force and Reds couldn't decide the match between them. The Blues showed you don't always have to be at your best to win, making up for the loss last week when in superior form. The Waratahs were in exactly that when thrashing the usually gritty Kings, and the Crusaders put together their best 80 minutes of the season to round up the Brumbies in emphatic fashion.
Well, John, that must have felt like an eternity, that second half.
Oh God, yeah, not good for the nerves. There's no doubt about that. Time I was downstairs this time instead of the usual upstairs. So for me personally, it was probably worse actually because you're closer to the action. But look, I think for the players as well, when you're in the game, obviously the adrenaline and the heat of the moment, it feels like it goes on for a while. But plenty of other things on your mind. But just obviously pleased that finally one came through for the boys.
Well, they dug the deepest, didn't they, defensively when it mattered most?
Yeah, I mean that was outstanding defensive effort really. The Sharks just hammered away, and I suppose it was testament to the defence that they ultimately ended up going a bit wide. Didn't think they were going to make it around the fringes because their defence is so strong. So big tackle on the fringe and saved the day.
Them needing to win the game to help because they had a couple of penalties they turned down, so that worked out well. Yeah, absolutely. But I think we were due a wee bit of luck, so we'll take that one. But you're dead right. I mean, they could have chosen to take the 3, which was very kickable. And I really don't think we believed to lose the game. You could argue maybe a draw could have been fair indication in some respects, but certainly didn't deserve to lose it. Scored the most spectacular try. The Colin Slade finished effort, but Ben Smith, everyone contributed. Yeah, it was outstanding. And the good thing about that is it lifts confidence in your ability to play, you know. And we've had sort of glimpses of that at various times with him being able to finish them. So to finish one like that, from what I saw, looked like one of the tries of the season. I'll obviously have a look on video from a better angle, but great lift for the guys and just in general, I think. The whole tempo changed in the second half. In the first half, things got a little bit loose, a little bit disjointed, but the guys came out in absolute firing in the second. Yeah, I think towards the end of the first, the plan wasn't quite working and we got a little bit one-off runnerish. I mean, they defend bloody well, you know, they have, and they always do. So then we regrouped and spoke about that, obviously at half-time. Slightly different approach, really good start to the second half too, got into their half early on. Hose, big tackle off the kick-off, and so it gave us a wee bit of momentum, and then some good tactics and around the early part of that second half, and then of course they were always going to come back, so then it was absorbing. Word for your midfield combination, Tamati and Sean, they've played very little rugby recently, you wouldn't know. No, pretty impressive, wasn't it? I mean, with Trebes, you're always going to get direct play, renowned for that and very good at it, and a really strong defender too. And Tamati, that was probably the biggest call for him, because he's still coming back from the injury and been out a long time. But just his experience and leadership and decision making he brings to the side, I'm sure contributed in a great way too. And helped Colin, he seemed to just get better as the day went on. Yeah, well that's what it does, doesn't it? Guys who've been there and done it before, and I haven't spoken to him about it yet, but I'm sure he helped a wee bit with the shot calling, and when you get in those tight moments, the more leaders and directors you have, the better it is. So yeah, I'm sure that was a big part of it too. What will be the primary emotion flowing through the team at the moment? Will it be relief at getting the win, or will it just be delight of a good effort? Probably relief first. You've got to be a realist, and it's been more painful for us than it has for everyone else, I can tell you that. The guys have been hurting in a massive way, but I've been remarkably surprised at how well they've kept the spirits up. No negativity. It's been great every week. Andrew Hall's been great this week with his leadership, really kept the boys up too and in the game. So yeah, a huge amount of relief, and hopefully that'll give us belief as well. You sort of feel that if you can crack one, you can turn the corner. So now I suppose we've got to do that now. Well, Sean, it's been a frustrating season for you, but what a way to make your comeback today. You'd have enjoyed that outing. Yeah, exactly. It's been pretty bad, like just on the bench, watching the whole time in the crowd, but it's been pretty frustrating, especially for the team. Just haven't really got going. We've played well, but at times, but just didn't finish them off. And so it's nice, obviously, to get a win on the board, get some points, and good to be back out there and injury-free. Got that early try, got a hit on the scoreboard. They came back at you hard. Yeah, they did. They came back in the middle stage pretty hard at us, and
And but we knew that we still had it. There were a few things that were lacking, just a few passes now and then. So we just stuck to what we know, and it came through in the end. Just.
What was the message at half-time? Because it seemed to be re-energised after the break.
Yeah, we were. The coaches just said play our game. We still got them the opportunities that we identified, and we still felt that we were in the game a lot, and we could finish them off if we stuck to those.
That second half seemed to be absolutely frantic. Was it exhausting, especially with some time off?
Exactly. The legs were starting to give out the last 10, and I just had to keep on going because obviously you're on D pretty hard the last 10 minutes, and I thought the boys were outstanding those last sort of 5 minutes, especially on the line. Just the way that they just D'd up and didn't let them through was just awesome.
How much time have you had playing with Tamati as a pair?
Well, we played a little bit last year when I was a good injury-free as well. So we played a bit, and we've been in the environment for a while now. So we know a little bit of each other's game. But yeah, he's a good man to be inside, and he talks a lot, and he helps me out a lot. So it's good.
Because the Highlanders' backs combinations change radically every week. We didn't have a specialist winger this week, so it's been tough.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of injuries, but that's part of every team. It's how we deal with that and come together as a back line and a unit. So I think we did that quite well tonight, and it was good to get a win.
So it's going to be a long trip to South Africa, but now you're on a winning mode. Good to stay there.
Exactly. Hopefully we can keep it going, and the spirits are up now, so we'll take that over there and look forward to those games.
We really dug deep for this one. It was Thorny's 100th, and we dug deep, as you could see, that last 5-10 minutes there. It was all about defence. That's I guess that's what wins games, and we definitely pulled through for the big boy. So we're quite happy with that. Yeah.
You've got to be happy with your own form. You've been called into this team. You weren't even in the original squad, and you're getting some really good game time.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think as anyone, with an opportunity, I guess you just got to make the most of it. So for me, myself, as long as I go out there and give it my all and come off with no regrets, I guess I could be happy regardless of the results.
It's a big step up though from ITM Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It definitely caught me off guard. With ITM Cup, you sort of get a fast team or a team that's physical, but you don't really get the both at once. And with Super Rugby, it's definitely the both. You get all of it. You get the fast and physical at the same time. So it's definitely a big step up.
There was one attack there. You were in the move 3 or 4 or 5 times, so you must be in pretty good shape and looking for work.
Oh, I guess it's just it's work ethic. It's an attitude thing. Just getting back up. I guess it's working for your brother beside you. If you do your part for the team, everyone sort of lifts up and does their part, and smooth sailing, I guess.
You had a reputation for being an impact player, didn't you? But now you're starting and you're proving your worth.
Yeah, it comes down to, I guess this year I've sort of just worked hard on, understanding of the game plan, where I'm meant to be and stuff. And, I know, with Otago, I guess that was my role. And it's just, being a part of the team, you just do your role, whether it's starting or it's coming off the bench, you sort of just make the most of what you're given. So.
The number 8s haven't been very lucky with injury. I hope the leg isn't too bad.
Oh, mate, she's not too bad. She took just a bang, and I was quite precautious. I told them, I'll run it off within 10, and they reckon, nah, you're coming off, mate. And I was like, oh, yeah, but she's good. She's good.
Nothing's going to stop you playing next week, is it?
Nah, hopefully not, unless the doc says otherwise.
The gap narrows at the top of the table, with the Brumbies just getting the 1 point, while the chasing Chiefs picked up a hatful. The 3 wildcard spots still shared between the nations, with the 4 bye points keeping the Cheetahs in the hunt and 1 rung above the Crusaders, who will enjoy the same next week. It's a huge round coming up for the Hurricanes, another loss, and they'll be a spectator at best come finals time, along with all the teams below them. The Kings and Highlanders play out for the table anchor role next week. Conference-wise, it now looks a 3-horse race in New Zealand, with the Blues having arguably the tougher run to the line, with a long road trip ahead of them. The Crusaders-Chiefs rematch in round 18 could well prove the deciding factor. Across the Tasman, the Reds will be kicking themselves. They couldn't convert try-scoring opportunities against the Force. A win would have seen them depose the Brumbies, but not to be. The Tars have renewed hope with a huge win that helped all the influencing stats on the table. And in the Republic, the Sharks and Stormers both faltered and now face a 2-win gap from the Cheetahs, who will know even a 5-point bonus win won't be enough to take over the lead in the next round as the Bulls bank another 4 with their feet up.